When I was in college, I was trying to decide if I was going to be a classical musician or a scientist. And I ended up deciding that a professional scientist and amateur musician was a lot more lucrative than the alternative and a lot easier to pull off. So I knew I was going to be a scientist. I ended up discovering seismology and earthquakes and fell in love with it. You know, I've made some difference. I've been able to get seismic policies changed, and I started realizing that what's coming from climate change is worse than anything that earthquakes could do to us. I think we make a mistake when we think about climate change, thinking that it's about just sea level rise or the polar bears, you know, and recognizing the impact of climate change on us. To Los Angeles, the primary impact of climate change over the next few decades is going to be heat and fire. You know, wildfire is part of these mountains, but we have more of them now because of climate change, and they are becoming more devastating and taking out more of the ecosystem. I have a grandchild to be born next week that will be a sixth-generation Southern Californian. This really is my home. The contrast between being a seismologist and my time as a musician, especially when I began, I was the only woman in geophysics at MIT when I went into graduate school. My music was the place where I get to be more human. You know, people turn to seismologists after earthquakes because they're scared. They want information that will help them say it's normal. And just like you feel better when mommy tells you it's okay than daddy, people liked hearing from me more. So this is the viola da gamba. It's a Renaissance instrument, and it comes from a time when music was in people's homes. You play something and you have a theme. And then some other instrument picks it up. It really is like a conversation. Okay, let's imagine that the temperature is 15 degrees centigrade, and we're going to say that's this note. And then if it's 17 degrees centigrade, it would be maybe this note. And it goes down another degree, and we're down here. So musicians can play what I wrote, and you really get it, how much the temperature's gone up, though how much the pitch has changed over time. I ended up stripping away the harmonies and ending on only one note to represent the uncertain future. It was a way of sharing my science with the people I already shared my music with. I am struggling to maintain hope. I would say I'm inherently a pretty optimistic person. I see a future, and then I come into the burn, and this is what we're doing to our world. And, you know, are we going to turn it around? We can do it. We've got to choose it. It's a challenge because emotion is a big part of moving from an understanding of risk to action about risk. Different people respond to different emotions, and different cultures have different values. So maybe in some cultures we need to really be talking about your family, and others we need to be talking about your economy. And what I've done with my music is help people who understand classical music experience at a more visceral level what the climate's really doing. And actually, one of the things we want to do is really try to explore what role music can play and how do we tap into different cultural expressions of music. We need other music that inspires us to take action.
Épargnez tout roche qui a frappé bien.